It's so much less about how much you do, although it's not like it's not work. You have to show up and you have to do things and you have to create and you have to make sure that your voice is heard. But it's so much more about what it is that you feel. Big show today, guys.
Happy to be with you.
Gabrielle Bernstein, a role model for a new generation of spiritual seekers.
Hi, honey. Hey, sweetheart. What's your name?
Miranda.
Miranda, where are you in the world?
I'm in Ontario, Canada.
You know I love Canadians. Do you know what I just learned today? I just learned that Canada was named the best country. Like there's some like lineup. I think America's number 6. Canada's number 1. And when I heard that, I was like, yep, because you all know here on Dear Gabby, I love Canadians. So good on you, number 1. There you go. How are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm pretty good. I guess my question is, I am reading Judgment Detox right now, and I'm just in the beginning of it, and I'm starting to break all of my judgments down and figure out what they relate to from the past and whatnot. And I've realized that the majority of them come down to issues with my worth and my self-worth. And I can relate to what that would stem from in my personal life from childhood and whatnot. And I feel like in my adult life, my current life, I know I'm worthy. I know what I'm good at. I know what my strengths are. I'm fairly confident, but it's my inner child that's struggling to kind of move past the things that happened in childhood that gave me those issues to begin with. So, and maybe this comes in Judgment Detox and I'm just not far enough along in it, but I'm wondering if like what I can do to heal that when I don't feel like those are my current thoughts or my adult thoughts.
Sure. Oh, gorgeous question. Okay. So you're early in Judgment Detox, practicing the 6 steps to releasing judgment. And you're in the witnessing your judgment without judgment and taking inventory of your judgment right now. And what happens when we take that inventory is we start to notice what is the story from our past that is creating the judgments in the present. And I just want to acknowledge you first and foremost that you're doing really brave work. And it's my book that most people don't finish because it's a lot of big work. And the work that you're doing in this moment is probably the hardest part of the book. And that's why I put it up front, because if you can get past this, then you can make it through to the end. And so to stick around for the miracles. But witnessing how you've been judging yourself and others as a way of protecting yourself from the impermissible pain, shame, and suffering from childhood wounds is no small thing, baby. It's no small thing. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to just take your right hand and put it on your left shoulder. I want you to take your left hand and put it on your right shoulder. And I want you to give yourself a big effing hug right now. And I want you to squeeze tight. And I want you to say, I am awesome. Repeat it with me. I am awesome.
I'm awesome.
And I'm doing an amazing job.
And I'm doing an amazing job.
And I'm brave.
And I'm brave.
And I want you to close your eyes for a second. And everyone listening, if you're not driving, you can do this with us. Hug yourself and say, I am brave.
I am brave.
I'm brave for being here on Dear Gabby.
I'm brave for being here on Dear Gabby.
I'm brave for doing the Judgment Detox.
I'm brave for doing the Judgment Detox.
And I'm brave for showing up for this really difficult stuff.
And I'm brave for showing up for doing this really difficult stuff.
Okay, and you can just relax and just take a deep breath in. And I want you to let that breath go. And in this place of acknowledging how brave you are, how do you feel just right now after we did that?
I feel good.
Yeah?
I feel like I know I can do this. I know I can heal.
Do you feel in this moment, after reminding yourself how brave you are, that you could say something to that child part that might be supportive and healing? Like what you just said even. I can heal. I can heal. I can work. I can heal us. Is there anything else that you feel called in this moment to say to her?
Um, I guess that she doesn't have to do it alone.
Yes. You don't have to do it alone. Okay. What else could we tell her? That feels very safe right now.
Did I acknowledge what she's been through?
Yeah, I acknowledge what she's been through. And what I want you to do now, because this isn't a therapy session, but it's the beginning of a deeper process for you, right? So I want to be conscious of taking you through the journey of connecting to that inner child in a way that's safe for you, okay? And when you do a book like Judgment Detox, those child parts are going to come up, and then the most prominent will be the protector parts, the judgment, right? The judgment of yourself, the judgment of your past, the judgment of others, so that you don't have to feel those child parts. And as you continue on with Judgment Detox, there will be more practices for self-forgiveness and for healing that will really help you develop a greater connection to that child part. But for right now, what I want to add to the Judgment Detox process is for you to, once a day, doesn't have to be all the time. It can be more than once a day, but at least once a day, I want you to compassionately speak to the child part. Okay. From that place that you're in right now, maybe you start with giving yourself that hug and telling yourself how great you are. Okay. And then just saying to that child part, you're not in this alone. I've got your back. I'm with you. Okay. That alone, my love, just being in that resourced part of yourself and saying to that child part, I got your back. I'm with you, is enough. I want you to remind your child parts that this is a slow process, that you're going to take your time, that you're not alone in your suffering, that many people have suffered like this before you, that Gabby's been there, everyone watching has been there, and that you're on the journey, you're doing the work. And so while it may seem terrifying in the moment, if you ground yourself in the presence of the practices that you're committed to right now, you can assure that part of your child self that you are taking care of her. You with me?
Yeah.
There's always deeper work we can do with those. As in IFS, we call it exiled parts. So there's deeper work you can do. But that's not something I can do here, but it's something you can do with trauma therapist or an IFS trained therapist or EMDR work. There's plenty of places to go deeper there. But right now, even just doing Judgment Detox with this positive self-talk and this commitment to just showing up for that inner child is a humongous step forward in your recovery. You got me? Yeah. It's brave. It's brave. You hear me? Yeah. So I want you to be really proud of yourself. Can you just really be proud of yourself today? Because it's no small thing to just open that book. It's a big deal. To buy the book is a big deal. To say, oh yeah, I'll buy that book. Big deal. I'm really proud of you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I have a therapist. I love my therapist. She's amazing. She's actually the one who introduced me to your books. And
Great.
I read The Universe Has Your Back first, and that was absolutely just life-changing. So I'm just continuing on my journey.
So here's what I would say when you go into your therapy, just you can start to open up to her that you're getting just a little closer to helping those child parts, and let her guide you through that. Let her really hold your hand through that. It's a very delicate process, and the book is opening you up to it, and you have the support system right there waiting for you. And take it as slow as you want. I wish you a slow recovery. And I mean that because the more time we take to recover slowly, the deeper the healing can be.
Right.
It's like, when you're exercising, you don't want to do reps like this. It's like the slower the rep, the stronger the muscle.
Yes. Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Take your time. You're having so many miracles along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Good on you for doing Judgment Detox. You're a rock star. Go, girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby. Have a beautiful day.
Yeah, you too.
I think we have time for one more, Dear Gabby. Hey, baby. Hi, honey.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. And I had this feeling I would get picked. This is my first time on, and I just really felt like I needed to come on.
Mm.
Um, because yeah, during COVID, I ended up, my business kind of collapsed. I had to repivot myself because I did virtual events, and there was a lot of pain and wounds that came back. But I had this deeper knowing that I had to really do the inner work, and so I did the inner work and took it easy and got my business back on its feet as well.
I hope you're enjoying this show. And if you want to get more Gabby, you can click the link below, subscribe to my Dear Gabby podcast on Apple, be the first to know when the episodes drop because they come out 1 week before the video. And you can download it to your phone, listen to it while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're working out. You can just get more Gabby wherever you are. And if you feel called, leave a review. I'd love to hear from you. Now let's get back to this episode.
And then it's interesting because I bought the book Super Attractor like several years ago, and I started reading it in La Jolla and never finished it. And I got on Instagram. My angel reader said I should get on Instagram, and I did. And then I started following you, and then been listening to your videos, and then started reading Super Attractor again. And so for me, I want to empower women, or I am already empowering women in the science field, and I've won awards around it, but I really want to do it in a big way. Like I started my first 60-day program, and I want to impact the lives of 10,000 women. And I just need that help on expanding and knowing I deserve that. And I have the network. I've been in the industry for 18 years, but just sort of letting it go and really connecting to that higher power. And that's why I believe it's not an accident that we connected today. And I think that's where I hadn't been fully connecting to that greater universal power.
Well, you answered your own question, which is you want to expand this mission that you're on, which is to teach women and to empower women in the science field. Excellent, beautiful. And you have a goal and a big vision and a lot of confidence around the work that you do. But there's obviously a belief system that might hold you back of who am I to do this? How could I do this? And there's two things you said. That you mentioned that there's this story, the belief system. And you also mentioned that this is a need to let go. This is a time to let go. This is a time to surrender. And so those are the two keys to allowing the universe to work through you. If you want to make a movement with your work or with your ideas or with your charitable efforts, you have to be moved by the message. And then the message will move the masses. And so when I say be moved by the message, it's so much less about how much you do, although it's not like it's not work. You have to show up and you have to do things and you have to create and you have to make sure that your voice is heard. But it's so much more about what it is that you feel. And so every time you take an action towards this big goal of wanting to touch 10,000 women through the work that you do, I want you to make sure that you are feeling the service-oriented energy behind what it is that you're doing. This show, Dear Gabby, wouldn't exist if I didn't live in the feeling of deeply wanting to serve you, deeply wanting to heal and support. And I don't want to use the word heal because you guys heal yourselves, but to be a catalyst for your healing and to be a voice for you. And that's what I want you to feel, that same feeling and conviction in that feeling for your students, these women, these people who you are here to empower. Because my love, when you get grounded in the feeling of why you want this, the why, the longing, the desire, and it's no longer about you, that's when the universe just kicks into high gear. So when you notice yourself in the fear of how could I do this, that's a moment to say, oh, that's my ego. I'm making it about me. This ain't about me. Mm-hmm. This is about helping all these women. So I want you to keep coming back to the service, coming back to the service, coming back to the service, coming back to the energy of that service. Meditate in the energy of that service. See yourself, visualize yourself holding space for all these women. Visualize yourself leading events live in person with all these women. See it in your mind's eye, and it will become true. Let the universe catch up with your dreams. Be patient, surrender, relax, allow, and dwell in the energy of what it is that you want to create. What we create, half of it is actually action. The other half is actually feeling, being in the energy of it.
So let me ask you something, Gabby. So because the thing is I've always achieved what I've wanted to achieve, and I've really gone out of my comfort zone many, many times in my life. And this is probably where it's surrendering that there is enough resources to support me, because I don't want to go to a place of burnout, because I get so passionate about this, and then something starts happening to my body, and I need to make sure I have that self-care.
What I just said to you actually was pretty major for someone who's experienced burnout, which is that I'm telling you 50% of creating a movement is the effort, is the work. The other 50% is the non-action. Do nothing and let the universe show you what to do. Do less and attract more. That 50% of work can be so much more impactful if you're committed to 50% of stillness. Because if you're all in, move, create, and you're not taking a break, and you're not moving out, and you're not settling in, and you're not dwelling in the feelings, then baby, you're going to burn out, and the vessel cannot hold the greatness of what it is that you're here to bring forth. I'm being pretty bold in saying 50-50 here.
Mm-hmm.
But that 50% of effort becomes so much more magnified when you have that 50% of stillness, when you have that 50% of groundedness. And so I want you to think about your day in that way. Half of my day is working, half of my day is self-care. And because you're an entrepreneur, you can do that. And even if you work in an office, you can still create the space where you can go and breathe for 20 minutes. You can walk around the block. Hopefully you can do this. And you can create that space.
Yeah, I live in Del Mar, so I'm in beautiful weather. So
beautiful, beautiful. So it's, especially in the situation you're in, you're blessed to be an entrepreneur. You're blessed to have your own timeline, so you can create it, you can design it, you can decide it. And that's going to be the key to your success. The key to your success, baby, is how much you can slow down and listen.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gabby.
You're welcome, beauty. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.